this sequel. Elsa Lanchester plays Mrs. Shelley, as well as the bride. And by the way, watch for the homunculi, bottled miniature humans. In 1935, they were a state-of-the-art special effect designed to thrill. And thrilled you will be as we watch The Bride of Frankenstein. Boris Karloff was tall to begin with, but the boots for his costume added 18 inches to his height, putting him over 7.5 feet tall. Each boot weighed 11 pounds. For the first Frankenstein film, Karloff had fought for speaking lines. This time, though, he protested that speech would detract from the character. But director James Whale insisted on following the script. Karloff's solution was to invent a brilliant and endearing form of monster speak. You won't forget his final words to his bride at the movie's end. Now, let's return to The Bride of Frankenstein.
For everyone who thinks every movie's the same, think again. From the imagination of Tim Burton comes a completely different kind of motion picture.
I am the Pumpkin King!
This fall, journey to a place you've never been and get ready to open your mind. Touchstone Pictures presents Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, rated PG, now playing in select cities.
I'll not be halted by anything. So I'm the complete master of this living, breathing, intelligent creature my father dreamed of creating.
Bella. He's mine! He don't belong to you!
And Boris. The monster!
Together.
That thing's enough to scare anyone.
In Son of Frankenstein, part of Classic Monsters Month, only on the Sci-Fi Channel. Tomorrow at 9, 6 Pacific.
We now return to The Bride of Frankenstein as Classic Monster Month continues here on the Sci-Fi Channel.
They haunt the darkness of our minds. Classic Monsters Month, all this month.
Nightmare.
Why do I see and feel these things?
Psychiatrist said she was going mad.
I won't let myself be committed.
But it was not a dream.
We were afraid for you.
It was not a hallucination. Barbara Hershey and Ron Silver star in the classic feature film based on a real paranormal experience.
See? I wasn't lying.
The Entity. Saturday at 8, 5 Pacific on the Sci-Fi Channel.
We would be remiss in this week of Frankenstein films if we did not pay tribute to the person who created Dr. Frankenstein and his monster, Mary Wollstonecraft Shelley. It was in 1816 that she wrote her original novel, the full title of which was Frankenstein, a Modern Prometheus. Over 175 years later, Frankenstein is still a powerful novel. Perhaps most impressive of all, Mary Shelley was only 19 years old when she wrote her novel. We now return to more of the work she inspired as the Sci-Fi Channel continues this special showing of The Bride of Frankenstein. Classic Monster Month on the Sci-Fi Channel will continue with The Bride of Frankenstein in just a moment.
It's coming. More terror than you've ever felt before. Dare you read it in your library.
Stephen King's newest collection of horror, Nightmares and Dreamscapes. Now this beautiful 2750 hardcover is yours for just $7.95 when you join the Stephen King Library. Pet Cemetery, Needful Things, Christine, the Academy Award-winning Misery, plus Stephen King's newest books as soon as they're published, all in original hardcover editions, all at just $14.95 each, all with a cancel anytime guarantee. Call now, and Nightmares and Dreamscapes is yours free for 10 days. If you're not terrified, return it and cancel. Otherwise, we'll send you a new volume every 7 weeks, each with a 10-day free trial. There's never an obligation to buy. Summon Nightmares and Dreamscapes now and enter the unearthly library of Stephen King.
Call 1-800-327-4555 now to get Nightmares and Dreamscapes. 1-800-327-4555.
We now return to The Bride of Frankenstein, here on the Sci-Fi Channel.
I'm not beholden by anything, so I'm the complete master of this living, breathing, intelligent creature my father dreamed of creating.
Bella
He's mine. He don't belong to you.
and Boris.
The monster.
Together
That thing's enough to scare anyone.
in Son of Frankenstein, part of Classic Monsters Month, only on the Sci-Fi Channel. Tomorrow at 9, 6 Pacific.
We now return to The Bride of Frankenstein, here on the Sci-Fi Channel. When The Bride of Frankenstein was first released, psychoanalysis was in its heyday. The disciples of Freud delighted in pointing out what they saw as the sexual symbolism in the film. They were particularly fond of interpreting the explosive ecstasy with which the bride is brought to life. Well, perhaps. But during that scene and the courtship scenes that follow, I prefer to give credit to Franz Waxman's powerfully evocative musical score. Decide for yourself as we return to The Bride of Frankenstein. I hope you enjoyed this special showing of The Bride of Frankenstein on the Sci-Fi Channel. Back in 1935, this film cost $400,000, much of it going into the spectacular explosions at the end. That explosion, of course, was caused by the lovesick monster throwing a large switch on the wall of the laboratory. Why do mad scientists create such catastrophic switches? I suppose it's because they're mad. I'm Christopher Lee. Do join me tomorrow for The Son of Frankenstein here on the Sci-Fi Channel. Good night.